Good morning, guys. This is Dileep Nigam, CEO of SimpliExcel Training International and certified John Maxwell coach. SimpliExcel is in the business of coaching and offering leadership programs to corporates and other institutions based on the principles taught by John Maxwell. Now, today I have the honor and privilege of having with me Mr. Sam Sullivan, ex-mayor of Vancouver, the MLA for Vancouver Falls Creek, and also the former Minister of Communities, Sports and Cultural Events. He has been invested as a member of the Order of Canada, nation's highest civilian award, for community development and achievements. Mr. Sullivan was also inducted into the Terry Fox Hall of Fame in 2000 and won the Christopher Reeve Award in 2008. So he's definitely an extremely accomplished personality, and I have the honor and privilege of having him with me. So welcome, Mr. Sam. I really appreciate your time. And being taking out time for me for this interview, and I'm sure your success journey will be a source of huge motivation to many people in the times to come. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Now let me start with your journey when you were 19 years. And at the age of 19 years, on one fateful day when you were skiing with your friends and you had a major fall, and that practically almost paralyzed your body. You had undergone a depression of about 7 years before you completed your bachelor's in business administration from Simon Fraser University and went on with life. And I'm sure under a situation like that, a lot of willpower, stamina, a desire to prevail and persist is required. So would you like to share a little bit about your story? How did you come up again in life after those depression years and after that fateful day?
Well, I was very depressed and wanted to even commit suicide. So I was trying it out and testing how it would go. And so I did a very real, very vivid enactment of that. And at the end I thought, okay, well, what if I was dead and, maybe there was some residual, movement. Could I maybe donate my body or mind to someone else?
Okay.
Maybe it would be great if we could somehow give it to someone else. Maybe they could use it,
Okay.
And I thought, well, maybe I could use it,
Oh, wow.
Maybe if I had just, if I was dead and I, but I still had the opportunity to use this, whatever was left, I wonder what I could do, and so that was a very great moment to really realize that I was leaving behind all my old aspirations and hopes and just saying, hey, let's start with this and see what I could do with it.
Okay.
So that's how it changed.
What an awakening,
It was just a little mind game, I guess, to
Absolutely. Wow.
think about things in a different way.
Absolutely. It's all about how you see the situation. It's all about perspectives. Right. Now, again, going back, as a teen Sam Sullivan, what was the person that teen Sam Sullivan was like, and what were your key strengths and success traits at that time when you were a young teenager?
Well, just going to school and trying to figure out where I wanted to go, and I was becoming more interested in just being able to be a worker, a person who could, have a regular life. And
Okay.
I even thought about being an electrician.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I valued manual labor as a good thing to do, and so that was one of my goals.
Interesting. All right. Now, as a teen, what kind of wishes did you have? Did you really wish to be in the political career, or it only came through later part of the journey?
No, I didn't really have that as a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Was more fell into that.
Okay, just in the journey it came through.
Slide into it.
Right. Now, looking back, what was the most memorable day of your success journey?
Well, many days, but probably the most important one or gratifying was when I was able to get into bed by myself in the rehab center, and for a year I had to get people to put me into bed if I felt like I wanted to have a rest or something, and eventually I learned ways to get myself into bed. And
Okay.
when I did it on my own,
Wow.
I was waiting for someone to help me, and I thought, well, I'm just going to try it on my own.
Yes.
And I did it, and I got into bed by myself.
Wow.
It was a great moment.
Great moment. Absolutely. It's all the willpower, you know.
Mm.
If you decide to do something, it's possible. Unless you try yourself, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Wow, wow. Okay. Now, I understand you have created 6 non-profit organizations to help people with disabilities. And that is a huge target, or rather, it's a big mission. So, what was the biggest motivation for you when you started that? I'm sure it's not a small journey, it's a big thing, one at a time. But what was your biggest motivation to start that?
Well, it wasn't really to help other people, it was to help myself.
Okay.
That I had originally, when I was setting goals, you know,
Right.
it's very important to set goals. What was the goals that I wanted to achieve? Oh, I thought, really, I don't really know, but it's a good indication. What did I do before my injury?
Okay.
So I thought about that. You know, I used to love to go skiing. So I thought, okay, what is skiing? How does that, you know, it's being outdoors in the nature and whatever. And I tried different things, flying, you know, and then eventually ended up sailing,
Okay.
go in a sailboat. So that became my version of skiing. You know.
Okay.
And I wanted to, you know, have maybe even started a small business. I thought about that for a while.
Right.
My father did that, so I thought maybe having little organizations would be, in a way, a business. I also played music, so I started a music society, and I wanted to go hiking, I enjoyed outdoors, so I started an outdoor society, you know, and basically institutionalized my own personal interests.
Okay.
And then recruited people who were also interested in each of those, and ended up having a number of groups that now are very active, and I'm not that involved anymore.
Okay. Wow. So your passion, your own interest resulted into these organizations.
Yeah, but it was very selfishly motivated, you know.
Okay.
Wasn't really about other people, but I realized I needed other people
Right.
to achieve that, and if we could find other people that wanted the same thing I wanted,
Right.
then we could have enough people to set up a society.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure because of that vision of yours, a lot of people must be thanking you that for starting that, because I'm sure their wishes are getting through, you know, completed through that organization.
Yeah, yes.
Because the resources, the guidance, the support system, you know.
Yeah, well, most people, I'm sure they don't know anything about the societies, how they started, but you know, I know that many of them are very happy that they exist.
Absolutely, I'm sure, especially the people who are taking advantage of that. And I understand about 10,000 people have been benefited because of that. Those
Yeah,
societies,
yeah.
maybe more now.
Probably.
Yeah. Cool. That's interesting. That's very interesting to know that, you know, how things emerge in life.
Yes.
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, well, I try to be honest, you know, it wasn't, you know, that I was thinking about other people originally.
Yeah.
But as I got into it and I started to enjoy, you know,
Yeah.
eventually it was, you know, I spent all my energy just organizing, and I didn't do much of the activity.
Right.
And all the other people were doing the activities, but I enjoyed that too, to see other people not have to do all the work I did, you know, and they could just come and participate.
Wow. I think that was very good, you know, very good accomplishment. Now, if you had to identify 3 success mantras who were responsible for your success, which you leveraged upon, what would they be?
Well, certainly goal setting, set goals, a to-do list, you know,
To-do list.
write things that need to be done,
Yep.
and try to tick them off.
Mm-hmm.
Another quadriplegic who was very successful, he said, get out. You know, if you don't know what to do and you're confused or you're not really certain, get out of the house, go somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
There are always opportunities, things that are happening, go, you
Yeah.
know, just get out.
Get out of the comfort zone, get out of your home.
Get out of your home, go
Start
and
exploring.
interact with people. And that's always been a very useful thing for me. I found whenever I do go out, good things happen.
I've seen your video hiking. Wow, that was amazing, to see you hiking, and how you were going, people were helping, there's an equipment, which is brought up the hills. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, that was later, but originally when I didn't have any opportunities.
Right.
The idea is if you don't know what to do, just get out, and you might find.
You will find the opportunities.
They will come.
That's nice. Now, it's also said that in life, most of the successful people, they have a mentor or a coach. And the coaches and the mentors, the approach is that they help you selflessly accomplish something in life. So did you have a mentor and a coach in your life? And if yes, how did he impact your life? And to what extent?
Well, many, many. But I got to say maybe the people who are writers.
Okay.
So people I didn't actually know personally, but I read their things. Often it was literature about how to get things done, how to accomplish things, and
right.
So there are people who write books.
Okay. So would you like to refer to any specific book which really impressed you the most?
Alan Lakin, a group, he's a guy, wrote a kind of a popular book, How to Get Control of Your Time and Your Life.
Okay.
Just very basic,
Okay.
how to set up goals and
Okay.
a to-do list. So that was very good, Dale Carnegie wrote books, and Stephen Covey.
Stephen Covey.
Those people. I was a very big consumer of motivation literature.
Really?
Oh yeah. So
Interesting.
very
Nice.
important to read and to get inspired by people like that.
So that would be a message from you to the youth today, that read books. Read good books.
Self-improvement.
Self-improvement books. Now, gratitude is another of the traits of very successful people. They are always humble and want to thank people and appreciate people. So if you had to thank 3 people in your life and express your gratitude to them, who would they be?
Oh, well, my teacher in elementary school. There was a Mrs. Tonge. There was a teacher at Langara College who taught English, and I tried to find him one day just to thank him, because we would never thank these people. Just they did a lot for us, and I tried to find him, and he just passed away just a few months before I found him. So I felt so I donated a little money to a fund for him.
Okay.
But there are many teachers often are good mentors and people to thank.
Right. Okay. You once said, before my disability, there were 10 billion opportunities for me to explore. Now there are probably 5 billion, far more than I'll be able to ever attempt. What are the new opportunities you are now planning to work on?
Well, I feel there's a need for an institute or organization that will help cultivate new political leaders and new policy ideas. And, it's quite distressing that there isn't a really good way to bring in new people into government politics. So I'm thinking about some entity to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many things that are needed in the world,
Yep.
There are no end of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you had to give an advice to a college student, sharp, ambitious college student who is going to enter the real world soon, what that advice would be?
Well, they would want to appreciate the relationships that they make along their life. They should, value them and and keep in touch with them, and enjoy life, enjoy the things, and be very conscious of their own enjoyment, and find out what it is that they really do when there's no other people making them do things.
Right.
Where do they get joy from without being coerced into doing something,
Really?
So that's very important to keep aware of what you do.
Right. That's a very good message to the youth, that they should not be like pushed forward by other people's motivations. It should be their own motivation, inner motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Now lastly, to close the interview, if you had to define success, how would you define that?
Defining success is being able to set goals and to accomplish them, and to be grateful, and to take advantage of the great opportunities of this life. It's a very amazing society we have.
Absolutely. There are tons of opportunities outside. We just need to be looking for it. Great message. I'm sure that'll be really helpful to the new, especially the future generations, So thank you very much, Mr. Sam. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And
yes.
Appreciate your time for this interview. And I'm sure your story, your success journey, is going to be a source of huge motivation and inspiration for many people to come for times to come. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you for the work you're doing. I really appreciate your work.